look at the companies that are operating in country. I mean, you've got 3 of the 5 largest gold producers on the planet who have significant operations in Ghana.
Well, hello, welcome to Assay TV. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by Luke Alexander, who is the President, CEO and Director of Newcore Gold. Luke, great to see you today, joining us from Vancouver. Start things off, you have the Enchi project in Ghana. You have a resource there already. Tell us what you found so far.
Yeah, so we've got the Enchi project in Ghana. It's a advanced stage exploration project, about 216 square kilometers. You've highlighted that we do have a resource on it, current 1.2 million ounce resource. Probably the key thing with our existing resource is that 95% of it sits in the oxide and transitional zone. So what that means is it lends itself to heap leach mining, which is a much less expensive way of mining. So lots of exploration. We've identified about 25 targets across the property, only drilled on 6 of them to date, of which 3 of them make up that 1.2 million ounce resource. So real district scale opportunity.
And you've had some recent drilling results. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so to date, we've put out about 112 results. That represents about 18,000 meters. So about a third of our 58,000 meter drill program. The results that we've put out today have been RC expansion, primarily expansion drilling type results. And we've got another 40,000 meters of drilling. We've currently got 3 rigs on site, adding an additional 2 rigs, which will take us to a total of 5 rigs, and we'll get that 58,000 meters drilled by kind of Q3 of 2021.
Fantastic. So no problem getting hold of rigs at the moment. So I know they're in short supply in some areas.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things we've been very fortunate with in Ghana is that because it's a mining hub for a lot of West Africa, and Ghana itself is Africa's largest gold producer. So with that, you get a huge amount of skilled labor as well as mining services in country. So we were very fortunate that when we went out for our recent 2 rigs, which are showing up in February, we actually had 7 proposals in front of us. So lots of supply. Touch wood, that will continue. And I'll also comment from an assay perspective. We're getting our assays back within a 2 or 3 week period. All of that assay work is done in country. So again, that turnaround time at the moment is unseen from what I'm hearing around the world. A lot of companies dealing with 10, 12, 14 weeks. And that's really been a benefit for us because it's meant that we're able to adjust our drill program on the fly. And the other real advantage is all of the drilling that we completed in 2020, about 75% of that was on our existing 3 resource areas, and then follow up on drilling on some historical results that we had. We were very happy with the drill results that we got. We were able to give all of those results to our the engineering company that we're using for our PEA, and some of that will get included in that PEA, which we'll have out at the beginning of Q2. So yeah, it's been great from a drill perspective, as well as getting assays back to us in a very timely manner.
I mean, Assay's coming back in a couple of weeks. That's sort of unheard of in Canada and Australia at the moment. I believe you've also had some metallurgical test work done, looking at recovery rates. What sort of numbers are you producing?
Yeah, so if people are interested in looking at that in more detail, we put out a press release on January 7th, which includes that met work. So the average recoveries that we got within those tests was 89%. So again, we were very pleased with those results. That's follow-up met work from previous met work that we've done, and was included in a 2015 PEA. So all that kind of results, points to good recoveries on a go-forward basis. We will continue to do met work as we go, and hope to continue to get good results like we did in the recent release that we put out.
Fantastic. So in terms of your sort of shareholders and management team, who's involved in the company?
I guess maybe starting from a management perspective, I spent 15 years on the investment banking side of the business, 12 years in London, covering a lot of the big global natural resource funds, advising AIM-listed, TSX, Aussie-listed companies on different fundraisers, as well as deals over the years. A number of the institutional investors that I covered during that stint on the sell side of the business, they're now shareholders of Newcore. So great to have that support from deep-pocketed, long-term focused investors. So groups like Ruffer and Sector, SSI, and others. You'll see them listed in our presentation. And I think our board is the other thing that really sets us apart for a company of our size. Call it $45 million US market cap. We've got a very strong board. Doug Forrester, he's our chairman. He was the CEO of Newmarket Gold, which arguably was one of the most successful stories in the last 5 years. Co-founder of Caliber, which has been a great performer since they did that transformative acquisition. And then on the management side, Greg Smith, he's our VP Exploration, crucial part of the team. Greg's got over 30 years of experience. He's worked on our Enchi project on and off for the past 10 years, so knows it as well as anybody. So it's a really strong team, and I think that's why we've had such strong support from institutional investors, as well as the investment banking community. We've currently have 5 tier 1 investment banks out of Toronto covering us from a research perspective. So great to have that support as well.
Fantastic. And in terms of paying for all of the ongoing work, no problems on the capital raising side?
No, so we did 2 capital raises in 2020. So we did a $3 million raise in May of last year when I joined as CEO, and Doug stepped up as chairman and Greg came back as full-time VP Exploration. And then we followed that up with a $15 million raise, which closed in November. So our 58,000 meter drill program is fully funded, as well as a PEA that we have planned, as I mentioned, coming out in early Q2 of this year. And then we'll also do a full resource update at the end of the year. On the back of all that work completing, the way we budgeted was to ultimately have 12 months of capital on the back of all that work being completed. So we're well funded into 2022, and as 32% shareholders of the business, as management and insiders, we ultimately want to make sure we've got lots of runway to run the business, but we also want to get as many meters into the ground as possible. So that's how we kind of laid things out from that perspective.
I mean, you mentioned earlier, obviously, that Ghana is well stocked with sort of drilling rigs, and the assay labs are still running nicely. In terms of sort of permitting and the other sort of jurisdictional issues in Ghana, how is it as a place to do business?
It's a great place to do business. I mean, it's one thing to hear it from me, exploration company, CEO of an exploration stage company. But look at the companies that are operating in country. I mean, you've got 3 of the 5 largest gold producers on the planet who have significant operations in Ghana. Newmont, 18% of their global production is in Ghana. They produce over a million ounces per year in Ghana. Goldfields, 37% of their global production comes from Ghana. Anglo Gold, they sit at about 10% of their global production, but that's going to increase to about 20% this year. So Kinross is there as well. And the other point I'd make in terms of Ghana being a great country to do business is look at what's just happened recently with Cardinal. You've had Shandong, which is a $15 billion company in a full-on hostile bidding war with Nord Gold, which is being touted as listing on the LSE at about $5 billion. So I think all of those things really speak to what a great country Ghana is to operate in.
And in terms of sort of social license to operate and things like that, ESG, obviously a very important factor in any miner's development plans. Where does it sit in your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. ESG is crucial for us, and it's part of our core values at Newcore. So we've got a number of initiatives in place. We are trying to adhere to as many of the UN Sustainable Development Goals as possible, and you'll see a number of those listed on our website if you want to look in more detail. Dan Wilson, he's our country manager. Dan has worked on and off on our project for the past 25 years. He's been on with us for the past 10 years. So he's got great relationships with the locals and all the stakeholders on the ground. so some of the initiatives that we've done, recently is we're upgrading one of the schools in the local communities. We install, water wells in local communities where they don't have access to fresh water. So there's a number of different initiatives. We hire as much as we can the locals and offer them jobs first. So there's lots of things that we're doing on the ground, because ultimately having good support from the communities and having the project a success for all stakeholders is crucial for for good sustainable development.
Absolutely. And so looking forward to 2021, you outlined a few targets you had earlier in the chat, but just to recap, what are your key sort of goals for 2021?
Drill would be probably the biggest thing. So to date, we've released about 18,000 meters of the 58,000 meter program. So, we've got another 40,000 meters of results that will come out. A bunch of that will be focused on resource expansion type drilling. But then for the first time ever, we're going to be drilling some deeper holes on the project. So again, that 1.2 million ounce resource that we have, we've only drilled down to an average of about 50 or 60 meters. So the bulk of that has been focused on that oxide transitional material. And for the first time ever, we're going to start drilling some deeper holes on the project. And if you look at these greenstone hosted deposits, where you really start to see them grow in size and double and triple and quadruple is when you start drilling further at depth and getting into the sulfides. You also typically see the grades start to increase the deeper you go. So we're really excited to be drilling some deep holes for the first time on the project, but also, continue to expand the resource along strike at our current deposit areas, as well as drilling some new targets for the first time ever. So, lots of different opportunities for us to create shareholder value, and drilling's probably the thing we're most excited about. But then to create further underpinning of value, the PEA that we'll put out in Q2, we think will be a good catalyst for the company as well. And then an updated resource at the end of the year. So very busy number of months ahead of us, and we're very excited as shareholders of the business.
Lots of news flow on the way. Well, thank you very much, Luke, for joining us today and telling us all about Newcore Gold.
Yeah, absolutely, Leo. Thanks a lot. And we're always keen to engage with our existing shareholders as well as prospective shareholders. So I'd encourage anyone who's listening to go to our website and as well sign up for the various social media channels that we've got out there, whether it's LinkedIn or Twitter or Facebook. We put lots of content that you might find interesting and useful. So thanks again, Leo, for having me on today.
Thank you very much.